hobby homesteaders, welcome back to Peek's Peak. Today I'm up here on the porch of my cabin. Now it may not look like it because we're not even close to finished, but I have been excited about the prospect of having a front porch to pick my guitar on while I sit here and look out over my pond. And today Caden is busy, so he's not home to come up here and work on the cabin with me. So I thought I would just take a moment to hang out and enjoy this beautiful weather and maybe shoot a little video. And today's video is actually, it's not going to have to do with the guitar. I've got the guitar up here because when I finish shooting this video, I'm going to record some more background tracks for our videos. I have found that most recently in my editing style, I have found that I don't use long music clips anymore. I try to keep the action flowing. And so I need some shorter clips of some kind of transitional music to move me from one scene to the next or whatever. So I'm going to try to record some of those things. But I wanted to shoot a Peek Speak video. If you're not familiar with our Peek Speak videos, these are videos where I talk about whatever's on my mind. And today what's on my mind is enjoying the process. I made mention of this in a video about clearing my trails and kind of cleaning up. I just wanted to take a minute and talk about making sure that you take the time to enjoy the process of whatever project you're into. So that's what we're going to talk about today. This is kind of a be sure and take time to stop and smell the roses kind of video. And what's had me thinking about this is actually building this cabin, because I will tell you that when I get into a project, I have tunnel vision. And what I am focused on is getting to the end of the project. Almost always when I take on a project, I can't wait to get finished. And it's mostly over the excitement of what I think I'm going to have when it's all finished. So like when me and Cameron were building the garage, I couldn't wait for us to have a garage to work in and have a lift so we could put our cars up in the air when we need to work on them and all that stuff. And so in my mind, what we were trying to accomplish was finishing that shop. That caused me to really scramble through the process and try to work hard and stay busy the whole time to make sure we got it finished as quickly as we could possibly finish it. What I realized is some of the best part of the whole project was the time that I had to work on the project and spend time with Cameron. And, you know, especially now as he's getting a little bit older and has other interests and other things going on in his life, we don't have that time to spend together so much anymore. He's got a job, going to school, got a girlfriend, and so that doesn't leave a whole lot of time for old dad anymore. This cabin project is something that I decided I wanted to do. You know, I want to have a cabin up here on the pond. I want a place to camp and, you know, hang out. And when I say camp, I mean, I want comforts of a mattress to sleep on and, you know, some of the creature comforts that we've all grown accustomed to. And so I'm not necessarily into camping in a tent on the ground. If that's your thing, it's not a problem. You know, that's great. Mainly, what I want is a nice place to come and just sit back and relax and be comfortable and enjoy myself. But that's not really why we're building this cabin. We'll have a great product when it's finished, but I'm building this cabin because I want some kind of a project to work on to get Caden out of the house and active and doing some other things and learning how to build and how to work and how to do all those things. And I've talked a little bit about this throughout the video. What I've learned as we've started this process, and I've talked about trying to approach this project with purpose, I've found that it's kind of hard for me to be patient and take my time. I've tried to wait until Caden is with me to do any of the work, and it seems like he forgets how much he enjoys it. And so when we're down at the house and I'll say, "You ready to go work on the cabin?" he might complain a little bit. So, "Oh, I just want to stay here and watch YouTube or play my Nintendo Switch or whatever." But when I don't give him a choice and I tell him, "No, get your shoes on, let's go. We're gonna go work on the cabin." We get up here and we've not been up here 5 or 10 minutes and he's completely involved in the project and enjoying himself. And just this past Saturday when we were working on it, he was telling me how I think we need to make sure that we work on the cabin at least 2 days a week, maybe 3, because he was having fun. And so he wanted to look forward to the next time he was going to get to come up here and enjoy working on the cabin. So the process is working. It does take patience and it takes commitment to the process. I've really tried to approach this project differently and just take my time and enjoy the decision-making process and figuring out how we're going to fix each problem that we encounter, and maybe, quit on it and leave the problem, go home and think about it. And what I found is a lot of times when we do that, we think of a pretty simple solution to whatever it is we ran into. And so you come back up here and it's a real easy fix after the fact. There's something to be said for taking your time and enjoying the process and not constantly pushing just to get to the results of whatever it is you're involved in. The funny thing is I've kind of approached learning how to play guitar with the same problem of always being so anxious to get to the end result that I fail to appreciate the process of learning how to play guitar. I got my first guitar when I was about 8 years old, and actually it's one of the coolest memories I can remember. My dad came home from work and it seemed like he always would bring some kind of a little prize. And so we would run out. He was a plumber and he would come home with his work van and we'd run out to meet him. And it's pretty much every day, at least during this span of time in my life. As soon as Dad got home, we'd run out to the door of the van to meet him, ask him what he had for us or whatever. One day he was late getting home, but when he pulled in the driveway, I went running out there and, asked him what was going on or whatever. And he said, so you've been wanting a guitar, huh? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, what color would you want? And I said, well, I don't really know. And he said, well, what about a blue one? I said, oh, that'd be great. And he reached over beside the seat and he pulled out this blue electric guitar one of his coworkers had, and he had went over to his house after work and they fixed it up, put new strings on it and got it ready for him to bring home to me. Man, I wish I still had that guitar. But I digress from my story about the process of learning how to play guitar. So because I'm always chasing that end result, I want to be able to play the song that I'm after. And so I never really learned a lot of the details and fundamentals about playing a guitar. I just learned some songs along the way. And so for 36 years, I've been learning how to play guitar. And no matter who you are, the learning process of playing an instrument, continues. But I definitely should be a much better guitar picker than I am. But I let myself get caught up in this quest for the end result. So I think in a whole lot of things, we would be better off if we would take a deep breath, slow down, and enjoy the process. What a beautiful day. It's we're about a week out from fall and the weather is just starting to turn off cooler and we're about to have some great weather to get a roof on this cabin. And that's the plans for this weekend. Me and Caden are gonna come up here and we're gonna get metal on the roof of this cabin. That's gonna be another one of those steps that I don't know exactly what part of that he's going to be able to help with other than handing me screws and things like that. But I'll be thinking about it because I'm trying to think of things that I can teach him along the way. But you know, there are some aspects of building something like this that they're not made for a 9-year-old to do. So he's very capable, and he's a hard worker, and he's strong, but I'm not comfortable with him being up on the roof of the cabin with me and that sort of thing. So be sure and keep an eye out for that video, see what we come up with. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna get ready to sign off so that I can record some little tunes that we can use in our videos. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good day.